I'm Brooke Shaw, and my wife Megan, and our daughter Grace Ann.
Grace Ann will be 4 in May, and she had a pretty severe speech delay right off the bat, and we also noted some other delayed milestones. And so we, as parents, first-time parents, we were like, "Is this normal? Do we need? Is she going to grow out of this?" And so we eventually ended up going to have her evaluated with some doctors, and we had some connections to help with that. And so I think she was about 15, 18 months old when we started to really seek out answers for her development.
And I had just a lot of uncertainty because it was her first child. We're in the middle of a pandemic. She's kind of isolated already, so it's kind of just, well, everybody's dealing with these issues. It's not just her. There's nothing going on. So there was a lot of denial up until a doctor actually said she has autism spectrum disorder. And even then, a little bit after that, it just took some time to buy into that and to get on that page of, okay, this is what's happening, and I need to do whatever's best for my daughter and our family. So we were encouraged early on to get involved with Tennessee Early Intervention Services, which is such a great and underutilized tool for the citizens of our state. So through that, we got introduced to TLC, and we started with speech, and then developmental was being done by a different service provider, but then that grew into occupational as well. So we were doing speech, and finally had the opportunity to do daycare here at TLC, and what a game changer that was. I mean, it was just a switch. Grace Ann had been in a 2-day-a-week Parents Day Out program with people that absolutely loved her, but they just weren't equipped for Grace Ann's particular needs. And we came here, and it was just an unbelievable difference. You talk about giving a child all the tools they need to succeed, and this is a place that really, that impacted that. So she would come home and she'd be teaching us stuff, which was really, she'd come home and say 3-4 new words, and we'd be wondering, where did you learn that? And so she was growing in leaps and bounds through the daycare program here, through not child care, but developmental child care. And it's such a huge difference, and a lot of people don't understand that.
Also, like her behavior, we had dealt with, meltdowns and regressions, and just her behavior was something that we could not get a hold of. And when she came here, and we realized that she was happy here, and she was getting the structure with the environment here at Therapy and Learning, it was night and day with her behavior at home. She started following, simple commands that we asked her to do, or she wanted to learn how to help more around the house. And we went from not understanding anything to all of a sudden it's like, okay, we're getting a groove with this. And I truly believe that because of Therapy and Learning, and because of the people here that loved her and poured into her, even her therapist, I mean, it was a game changer for her. It changed her world completely, and ours, in the best way possible.
Yeah, Grace Ann wasn't happy, nobody was happy. But when Grace Ann was doing really well here, then it was such a burden lifted from Megan and I's daily lives.
The hardest thing we had heard was that she may or may not speak. She may have some trouble with communication, and obviously that was our number one delay that we were dealing with. And so I'll never forget when she did come home, probably from school here one day, and started saying "mommy" and putting more. I could hear her saying more words, and I kept I heard her say "I love you" and "mommy," and then she started saying "daddy" and
finally
and "help" and more. And just to be able to have communication with your child when you didn't have it, just words we thought we would never hear before. And so it was an emotional time, and still, I mean, she can run circles around us talking, and it never gets old. Occupational therapy and learning for her has been huge, because with autism comes a lot of sensory sensitivities.
Yep.
And Grace Ann experiences a lot, whether it's not just sand, but light and sound. And so Sarah, her occupational therapist, has been so great at helping her with her sensories, and even just being able to hold a pencil and be able to, you know, twist things that we take for granted that most kids can do. But for her was a huge milestone to come home and be able to pick up a pair of tongs and pick up something. I remember she came home and she opened a marker, and I was like, how did you learn to open up that marker? And it was because of her therapist, because of Sarah, that she was able to learn that. And so just watching her learn all these new things has been so fun. Therapy and Learning Center for us were the first people to be on board and help us understand Grace Ann's world, and to help not just us but her. And there's so many children in this community and so many families that I know seek out to Therapy and Learning for help and get answers, and get, similar to our stories, they get all the love and care that we've gotten from Therapy and Learning for Grace Ann. And I think that being here and being involved in this organization, I've come to realize how important it is for the community, and how important it is that these children have an opportunity to grow and learn like they can here at Therapy and Learning.
You know, Therapy and Learning Center really is almost kind of a paradox, because a lot of people don't know what it is and understand what it is. And the people that come here for services, I think they walk in the door with a lot of uncertainty and a lot of fear and a lot of just being scared for their future. And they come into a place and they end up discovering the people in this building are the biggest advocates and allies for their kids. There is no other program in Jackson, in West Tennessee, that rivals the expertise and the service and the results that come out of this building. Grace Ann's autism, to me, and autism in general, it means that she simply has certain strengths that are better than others. She has some weaknesses that are worse off than others too, but she has some strengths that are better than others. She is a loving, caring child who just wants to be fully integrated in whatever experience that she's in. You know, is there anything that Grace Ann can't do because of her autism? No. There may be some things that she doesn't want to do, and that's totally fine. There's things that everybody doesn't want to do, but is there anything she can't do? No, not at all.